Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left. Because my children are coming.
I'll never say never to always. I'll
There'd be none of
never
you
say
left.
always to none. To seem is to dream a dream, my love. 'Cause one is
Maybe I should have killed 400 or 500 people. Then I would have felt better. Then when I felt like I really offered society something. You know, if I wanted to kill somebody, I'd take this book and beat you to death with it, and I wouldn't feel a thing. It'd be just like walking to the drugstore.
It's time to call time from behind you.
There'd be none of you
Illusion
left.
has been just a dream. Valley of death and I find you.
Well, hello.
Hello.
I'm Jessica,
I'm Rich.
and this is Charlie Manson's Fanny Pack. Hi, hun.
Yep. What up?
How are you doing today? Because we didn't spend much time together today.
No, me and my daughter were having fun at the game store.
I was a potato, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was the best thing.
Taught Storm how to play Magic the Gathering. I'm stoked.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I can watch you guys play Magic, but I don't have the patience anymore to play stuff like that. Like, I just don't.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I've never tried to force you to.
Yeah.
So, who are we talking about today?
We're talking about Pazuzu.
John Lawson.
Yes.
First, his name was legally changed to in 2002 to Pazuzu Algarad.
Like, he changed his whole name. It's like Pazuzu Ilya
Algarad.
Yeah.
So Ilya Algarad means Lord of Locusts in Arabic.
I'm just like Lord of the Flies.
And Pazuzu was the ancient Sumerian, like, kind of demigod of, like, pestilence and locusts, disease, and...
Very Beelzebub-esque. And
Yeah. He chose the name, though, because of The Exorcist.
yeah.
Right? So, yeah, the name of the demon in The Exorcist that...
Oh, yeah, it's Pazuzu.
It inhabits Reagan is Pazuzu.
We just watched that last night.
Yes, we did. Storm had never seen it.
Alright. So you want to just dive headfirst into
Yeah, you jump on
this dude?
You did a shit ton of research on this guy.
Because I found him really, really fascinating.
You just like his face tattoos. Would you stay with me if I had these cool face tattoos?
If you had...
The lines on the nose and under the chin?
Yes. I approve of those. I think that would look amazing.
You don't even know who, you know what this guy looks like, Storm?
You showed me a full documentary about him.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't like the way he looks. It terrifies me.
he is a terrifying looking person.
Yeah.
He's a very...
Well, look,
But he's... If he were still alive today, he would be what, your age?
no, he was actually almost 10 years older than me.
Really?
He was
Oh.
born August 12th, 1978.
Oh, yeah, because you were...
He's closer
You're
to my
86.
age,
Oh,
actually.
yeah. Well, damn. I hadn't actually looked at his birth date. I just knew that was...
Had I grown up though in Winston-Salem,
Yeah.
in Clemens area, I would have been hanging out at his house.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. That would be your stomping grounds.
Or at least outside. I don't know if I could handle the... Yeah, we'll get all of that.
Yeah, the
We'll get all
inside.
that.
Okay.
So,
he was born to Timothy J. and Cynthia Lawson. Now, there is some, like, kind of debate if his father was ever, like, actually part of his life. Like, there was some sources that were like, yes, his unmarried mother, and this was his father, and they really didn't talk. And someone's just like, yeah, didn't even have a whole dad. Excuse me. But either way, it's like we're looking at a kid who just didn't have a solid parental like figure because his mom was kind of like not really there either way. So, I mean, what else do you know like about kind of his like younger years?
So he got picked on a lot. He was kind of an asshole kid a little bit.
Like
he got for one, his hygiene for some reason
it just
was horrible, and his mother
Yeah.
did nothing. Like I would never let Storm go to school smelling like shit.
no, and plus you would have CPS called on you.
Like quicker than
And-
dog shit, right?
Yeah. And,
But,
like-
yeah, he actually picked up the name Turd Boy in school because he consistently smelled like fucking shit.
And it was like at this time he was like, I want to say between the ages of like 12 to 13, or not 12, excuse me, 10 to 13. Like he's starting to get into like vampires and stuff. So he has this like fascination with vampires. Like there's healthy obsessions as a child, but
Look, I'm
the
still obsessed with cool vampires.
yeah, like, but you're not trying to dress like a vampire every day.
No, I can't afford that shit.
No, I can't. If I could,
I would own nothing but trip pants, like yeah.
I would change my whole wardrobe from like the graphic tees that I own from like Think Geek and all of that to like a gothic hippie
I would
like
literally walk around this
vibe.
bitch
I'd
like-
be so
I
happy.
would literally walk around this bitch looking like a fat, hairy fucking pinhead. You know?
But that aesthetic fits both of us.
Yeah. Like, Hellraiser, I watch Hellraiser because I enjoy their fashion.
I can't watch Hellraiser because it's flashy.
It's so flashy.
I don't want to have a
You can
seizure.
actually watch the newer ones.
Yeah.
But, like, the
Would I
first-
have to wear sunglasses the whole time?
No.
There's no really
And the
flashing
newest
lights.
one they didn't, because originally they did it was so flashy because they were trying to illustrate the transition of a room into like from the normal world into the hell like dimension.
Yeah.
So there's like this flashiness as like the walls open up and
Is it
light
like Doctor
flashes
Who
in.
flashy?
Kinda in the
Okay.
originals.
Yeah. Okay.
Kinda. It's like flashy, but it's like behind a wall.
It's like Halo, Doctor Who kind of like
Yeah,
world
yeah,
flashy.
yeah.
Okay, I got it. I
And then
understand.
Now they've gotten better at animating that division.
Yeah.
They rely less on the pulsing look of the lights.
Yeah, I think
and
there's only
the
like
movie.
one
Yeah.
pulsing thing in the new one.
In the
that was
newest
like for a
one?
couple seconds.
There's gonna be a series
Really?
on HBO Max.
I'm so excited.
Thank God we have HBO Max. Thank God, apparently.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It'll be awesome.
We're watching Chucky and it's getting really funny.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Chucky's
goodness
not on
gracious.
HBO Max.
No, but whatever we're watching Chucky on.
Oh,
like
we're watching it on Pirate Bay.
the YouTubes.
Oh, man, that's right.
Any whoosies. So like we're in this like very like crucial period of Pazuzu's life.
Yeah, and he also
And-
starts drinking.
He started drinking when he was like 13.
Yeah.
But like in this time period, like there's something that just like switched.
And as someone who was bullied myself in a similar manner, but not because I smelled like feces, I started to lash back at like not only my bullies, but basically the culture of my bullies. In a
Yeah.
very similar way to what Pazuzu did. He decided if he wasn't able to hurt them physically, he could hurt them at their heart. You know, at everything he
They
could
stood
challenge-
for,
He
yeah.
could challenge everything they believed in, and that I did that. I went full fucking Satanist.
Did you get mad at me if I did that?
No.
Yeah, he got mad. He got mad at me for once doing that.
For what?
Yeah.
Doing that exact same thing to one of my bullies.
No, I've always wanted you to be cruel
And
to
who
a bully.
was it?
Not me. In fact, when you were getting bullied and your mom told me to talk to you, I told you just as soon as they touch you to beat them until a teacher pulls you away.
Fair point.
I did.
And that is what you have done. Don't sit here and lie. You've told me stories that you've like,
I know, but some
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't me. I will never get mad at you for handling a situation with a bully. Never.
You handle that bitch.
You have to, or they'll take everything from you. And
That's what we're left.
the thing is,
Take a whole left turn.
and that's kind of what happened to Pazuzu in this period.
Yeah, because
I'm not so sure about what was happening in his home
it's because
life.
he was also a very scrawny kid.
Yeah,
But his home life, like, this was at the time period where, like, he's been living with his mom, right? Cool. She also, sidebar, had, like, the crazy, like, immaculate house that you would see in a suburb. Like, to the point of, like, I knew a lady like this.
Like
It was
his
my
mom?
neighbor. Yes. Let me get there. His mom had, like, the immaculate house. Like, shampooed carpets. You take off your shoes when you come in. Like, it was clean. It was done. Yard was immaculate. Like, everything. She was definitely from the generation of, I have to keep up with the Joneses and I have to keep up appearances. It doesn't matter what's going on with me. Keep up with appearances. And, like, she starts dating this guy. I cannot remember his name, but his name was John, but I don't remember his last name. And because Pazuzu didn't like him, like, he told his mom, you can't date him. She was just like, okay. You are a grown-ass woman. This is a 12-year-old child.
I remember that now. Yeah, I think I got that. I remember hearing that on that Fox, what was it, Seduced by Satan?
Probably.
That podcast. I think I remember hearing about it there. Yeah, there's not a lot out there about him.
And
his Wikipedia page is like 4 sentences long.
Yeah, it's like maybe 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
But what I did like in this whole scenario, the podcast Cruelty, they brought up a very good point of emotional incest.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, I had never actually looked at that situation like that.
Well, I mean,
but it makes perfect sense.
I see some of that with like his later interactions with her and her,
because like we hit 13 and she's buying him a 12-pack a day.
yeah, and his overall permissiveness. I mean, she actually is kind of like Cartman's mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She just kind of, because she wants to have a friend, right?
Yeah.
So she lets Cartman do whatever he wants because Cartman's her
He
friend.
still interacts with her. Yeah.
You know, nobody else stays in her life. Cartman's dad is a mystery. And that's kind of I think what's going on here, you know? Like, it's not like sexual incest, but it's more of I'll do anything to keep him happy.
Yeah, so like just like a Google search that I did of like what is emotional incest. It is, it's also called covert incest, which is a unhealthy family dynamic where a parent realizes or relies on their child for emotional and like practical advice and support when they should be getting that from another adult or a partner. Like, your like 10-year-old isn't your partner and shouldn't be going with you through these like hard decisions that you should be making. You should still be able to like keep them at bay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, Storm's always been kind of aware somewhat of my decision-making process.
Yeah, but I mean,
I've never
helped you make decisions.
no. But like this would be like if your dad sits here is like, okay, so we have to get a house or something like that, or like we have to buy a car and you have this much and I need you to do this. And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
I have to be a whole adult now and I'm only 13? No.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're like, oh, it made me listen to all of the podcasts very differently because yes, everyone was presenting me like the same information, but it was regurgitated different ways.
Cruelty one.
It was actually really good. Not actually, they were really, really entertaining. So like, they have a lot of stuff up there, and oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the podcast. It'll come to me, and I will Any whoosie daisies. And I'm looking at myself and I was like, yeah, like somehow in here, like I'm an iced coffee gay. Why? What was I thinking when I was writing this? I have so many questions for myself right now.
What?
I have so many questions for myself when I was.
You've just been here, just free. Instead of writing notes, you've just been typing.
No, they're pretty much because that's how I'm like. That's how I take notes. Because like sitting here anyway.
Pazuzu Algarad,
But it helped me.
A few people.
So
And
let
I
me
think Mentos grape are the best Mentos there are.
They really are now. So let me scroll past these. Blah blah blah. Because I lost my spot.
Okay, shorts.
Deep breaths, kid.
Oh.
The deep breath hurts.
Well, by
I
the way,
know.
for those of you out there who are wondering, person number 3 is my my lovely daughter Storm, who's sitting on the podcast with us, and
What's up, kid?
because it's nice to have a face that you're talking to. You know,
And she's a delight. So
Storm right now is a representative of all you listeners out there who haven't heard this podcast yet.
yeah.
It's like, yep. So hopefully your sides are hurting just as much as my poor abused daughter.
Yay. Any hoodles. So now we're in like 2010, right? I can't remember what age at this point in time because I didn't put that in there. Anyway.
In 2010?
Yeah, in 2010, he has his first like altercation that kind of like, I would say, put him on the Hello. I have a whole calculator. You picked up a pen when they told us you will never have a calculator
Ready to show my work.
at your fingertips. They told us that. You lied to me in elementary school when I'm taking those freaking EOGs. You motherfuckers.
True, though. They did lie to you.
But you know what? Yeah. It's called my phone.
Different steps.
Or if you have one of those little calculator watches,
He
bam.
was 32.
32 years old. So any hoodles.
What about 32, Storm?
I thought he was younger than that.
I'm 36. You thought I was taller.
I'm
and
30.
younger than that, huh?
I'm a couple inches shorter than you, sir.
You're taller than me.
I'm an inch shorter than you.
I doubt it. Anyway, I'm like 5'7" on a good day when my hair is really big.
And I'm 5'5".
Whatever. Anyways, back to the story. So, in 2010, Pazuzu has his like first little altercation that kind of puts him more so on the radar of police, because that's when he chokes out his mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
And-
have, oh, never mind. I had to restart the computer and I lost all of it. I had this whole psych evaluation from that.
Oh, I have it up.
Okay, cool.
That's what Google Docs are best.
I know, right?
Because I can just...
We escalated so quick.
You don't have to raise your hand. This is not school. I choose you.
I'm trying to think of
But,
one for the next one.
where was it? I have to look at this stupid thingy. And that's why I just left up the website, because like, oh, I can just look at it. No, that's not how your brain works, Jessica, some days.
So, but by this time he already has his little following, though, right?
Yeah, he's already had, like, people are...
Yeah, so people, like, because Pazuzu, like, you can go to his house and it's total anarchy. And, like, I knew somebody whose parents were kind of like this, right?
Oh, yeah,
You
I
could
knew
go to
that
their
girl.
house and you could pretty much do whatever you wanted there. And
I knew that chick.
I mean, I don't. In fact, it's still like that today. But I do believe that if I ain't gonna say her name, but if she come outside and one of her son's friends were taking a shit in the living room floor, they'd have got their fucking head blown off, right? Like that's what would have happened at this person's house. But there was a house that everybody went to. We'd all go there. We could get drugs there. Everybody there had their own drug dealers, and there was like 4 brothers that lived there. So we could go there. You could get any drug. You could get it was like a stock market. You could go
Wow.
you could talk to everybody and find out what the prices on what different types of pot there were. You know what kind of drugs were available, who had the best prices on that, who had the best time frame on delivery. Like, you could...
That's dope as shit.
Well,
That's like a whole market there.
it really was. I mean, and it was they lived on the end of this cul-de-sac, and like they had turned like part of the cul-de-sac into like a little skate park. So people were always like skateboarding. One of the guys that were always skateboarding there went on to be a pro skateboarder. Like,
Oh yeah.
but
Nice.
most of them went on to be heroin addicts.
We're in jail.
And we
Yeah. A couple of them are dead.
we had a couple friends die.
So Josh knew these people.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, but I knew them too. I actually lived there for a brief period of time. I was kind of on the outs with everybody, and the only people that would take me in were these people. And I lived there with them for good like 6 months. And but when you're constantly living in a place like that, days blend together. You before you know it, you've been there for a month, and nobody's seen you the whole time you've been there. But it was a place of absolute anarchy. You could do whatever you wanted. And Pazuzu's house was like that to an even further degree.
Yeah, it almost took off the common decency. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there was no rules there. He had changed his name by this point
Yeah.
and filed his teeth down to points.
Let's pause right there. It's in his file that you can literally just Google Pazuzu psych evaluation and it'll pop up. You can read it. Like it says, yeah, in a meth-fueled haze, he filed his teeth down.
He took a hand file that you used for like sharpening.
It was a Dremel.
A Dremel?
It was a Dremel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In a meth-fueled haze.
I just...
I don't. My teeth feel weird.
I don't like that feeling. So.
Yeah, he ground them teeth on down to points.
Like a shark.
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah.
I bite my tongue all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And inside your cheek.
yeah, and I have this labret piercing, and sometimes when I'm eating, I bite the shit out of it, and it pulls and kind of
I
rips.
forgot you do that a lot.
Yeah, when I have my
I kinda
snake
wanna
bites
I want to get a smaller one, like a shorter.
bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because isn't that the first one you had?
Yeah.
You never. Oh, well, that makes perfect sense because
They're made because they swell.
yes.
Yeah, I need a smaller one.
Oh
Yeah, it
well.
should be healed by now.
Yeah, except for like last night when I almost ripped it out.
Yeah, I would. No, I was reading my notes. I was like, what? Where did that happen? Easily distracted. I can't help it. Yeah, that needs to happen.
And by this point, he's already like he stopped bathing himself completely. You know, he
had. If we're talking about when this is
around the 2010 time.
yeah, because this is around 2010, 2009, was it? 2009.
I was born then.
Gosh.
And like he was getting all the girls somehow.
I don't understand the appeal.
Every hot girl in Clemens was at this dude's house. Like
Trying.
I mean, well,
Yeah, 2009,
yeah.
the two guys that really kind of like broke this case open were already dead. And when their bodies were found, they were both found like their skeletons were found like execution style, like shot in the head.
Yeah. And this whole time, for years, people have been like calling the cops about Pazuzu's house.
It seemed like every few months they'd get a call. And you wouldn't think that the cops are just like, huh, something's gotta be
Like,
right.
This dude visibly is a monster, right? He would wear like he would go on that picture you had where his buzz cut. You can't see his whole outfit, but he's wearing like the Muslim imam outfit.
Yeah.
After 9/11, he started claiming that he was born in
You can I can kind of see it in this one.
Yeah, it was it's like a full length Muslim imam thing. It actually looked really fucking good on him. Like he had the right body for it.
Yeah,
but he looks like a fucking it. It made him not look Muslim. It made him look more like the devil. Like this man was pure evil walking down the street at you. The cops knew who he was. So, and they were constantly getting calls. He's murdering animals. He's got dead animals in his house.
Yeah, like there was literally like a dead cat hanging from his tree.
Hey, we saw a dead body in his basement. I helped him bury this body out here. You know, like.
And they were just like, cool story, bro.
Yeah,
hey, let's talk about that ceiling tile over there.
Like,
we should get that checked out.
Let's go get coffee.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we need to change the oil on our cruiser again.
It's like, and so these poor guys have been missing by then. And
let's talk about these guys, right?
So, oh wait, this is my Butterbox Babies document.
Maybe that's why you can't find any information you're looking for.
It's a really interesting case. By the way. Yeah, so I had to like jump from thing to thing to keep myself busy today.
You do all this research and stuff, we'll cover them. Like I ain't gonna stop you from doing it.
I have to be ready for any podcast.
I don't mind.
Let's see. That's when he was charged with
for you.
Accessory. Like, so we're gonna go to like 2011. He's charged with well, not charged, he pleads guilty to assault on a female, but he gets 12 months of probation. 12 months of probation.
No, this is a year, that was a year after, because in 2010, he was convicted of accessory after the fact in the shooting death of Joseph Chandler, the homeless guy that they found near the river.
Yeah.
And so there's a story behind that, I guess, right? Do you have that info?
There really is the story behind, I believe that
it's kind of like Clockwork Orange, basically.
Like everything comes out is all backwards.
But my understanding is, all right, so you remember the scene in Clockwork Orange where Alex and his droogs are walking underneath that bridge and they see that homeless guy drinking and they beat him to death?
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
That's basically what happened here.
Yeah. Like there's no other way to explain it.
His inner circle were out walking around in Clemens and they found this homeless guy out by a river and he got shot, right? Dude was shot?
Yeah, they found him dead in the river. But the thing, he was on the accessory, but in his psych eval for that charge, it said that he knew exactly what he was doing. He was fully competent. He knew what was going on.
Yeah, but then also follow with what he said.
Yeah.
Right? He can say, I am fully competent. I had to sacrifice this man to Satan. I am not crazy. Satan demands a sacrifice. You see, I am the follower. Me and my girlfriend here are the follower.
Only us.
Are the follower of an ancient Sumerian religion, a religion that does actually exist, where Pazuzu come from. Did I mention that I am a Islamic Satanist?
That part always confused me.
It doesn't make sense.
All right, so for those who don't know, the word Islam means obedient to God. You cannot, by definition, be a satanic. You can be an Islamic Satanist.
The two contradict each other.
It doesn't make sense. You cannot do it.
I think it's two brain cells at this point, and they were fighting for survival.
This being said, he understood Middle Eastern and ancient religion on a level similar to what I did. There are pictures of the inside of his house.
Yes,
where he has turned entire walls into his
beautiful
own, entire walls of Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Like
done
Wow.
perfectly.
like
Really?
they're really good.
It's his own writing. It's his own shit. Like I kind of want to like I have that little translation book somewhere.
You do ours.
I would you do the little blue one.
I think so. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
I want it because I actually want to see. I want to try and translate what he wrote on that wall. He also has
Set.
cuneiform. Up there, he has pictures of the different gods, including Pazuzu. He has the Hindu symbol I have on my chest. He has written all over
You're
the
on
place.
your chest there, buddy.
Oh yeah, that one. He has that all over his house.
Yeah.
He has bath mail over his house.
Yeah.
My religious iconography, my pantheon, so to speak,
Yes.
is almost exactly his.
Really?
I wouldn't describe it in any way like he did.
No.
No.
You're a little bit smarter than that.
But he likes all the gods that I like.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, like
Me, like, there, but for the love of God, go I. Like, I was that close to a Pazuzu.
Thank you.
Like, we like a lot of the same things.
I'm happy you are good, because I would
It's
not
like,
consider myself your daughter.
what was the key difference? It was
One, I loved animals. I could never
Yeah,
bring myself to kill
yeah.
yeah.
that kept me from a lot of violence.
And,
I could never get into killing animals.
I don't know how people do that.
I like animals.
and you have
Animals are
kids.
easy to love.
And now I have kids.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yes, you do have kids. You have two.
plus he lived in a weird place.
Clemens.
He lived in a place similar to the place I grew up.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he was able to find people like him in this place. I had none. It was me.
Yeah.
I was Marilyn Manson in a sea of Brad Paisley.
That's a good one. That's a good one, honey.
Your damn kids are getting better.
Yeah, they really are. But like, and because him having that following, like, it kind of fed into this ego and it fed into this, I don't know,
Yeah,
for him.
he was able. He had a following, and that was something I didn't really have until I was in my late 20s, early 30s.
And here we have the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, well, that was like 19 or so then. I didn't have a huge. I just had like there was just a couple.
Yeah.
I had a couple of little handmaids.
And yeah, you really did. And then here I am.
Blessed is the fruit.
No. You get Katie for that.
You mean Off Hunter? She's gonna hate me for that one.
Yeah, she really is. But I'm telling her
Good
on
thing she doesn't
Monday.
listen to the podcast.
I think she does.
Oh boy.
Oh jeez. But like, so the two guys that went missing, and I literally just lost their names because I'm smart.
One of them. Okay, yeah. Tommy Dean Welch
Yeah.
and Josh Wetzler.
Josh, like, no one really cared about Tommy because he really was like a drifter.
Poor Tommy.
But
Somebody cared about Tommy.
no, like, people did. But I mean, as far as the show The Devil You Know was concerned,
Oh yeah. They barely mentioned. They do talk a lot about Josh, and I actually.
because they got his like ex and all that.
I was also able to, and this is another thing that probably kept me from being a person like Pazuzu, is I was also a person very similar to Josh. I just wanted to hang out, have a good time, and get high.
You're like, I just want some
I was
mushrooms,
only
man.
The devil when I was angry and I felt threatened, right? That whole devil image, it was like a pufferfish reaction. It would repel away most. And
Yeah.
allow me to narrow my chances down to the dumbest ones that really wanted to fight me.
I'm sorry, but
It's This is gonna sound real bad because, like, I'm over here being like, haha, poke.
I've changed a lot.
Yeah, you have in the past almost 4 years. Yeah.
I've changed. I've grown up a lot in the last 10 years. You know.
No, and
You didn't know me. You didn't really know me like that then. You know, like when she was a little one, you didn't know me back then.
no, I
I was a
didn't.
different person.
No, I could see it though.
Not talking with my mouth.
She's heard stories.
I've heard the stories from him.
Yeah, like, but I'm saying that from the stories you've told me from and the going on 4 years that, like, I have been with you, like, you have grown up in those 4 years that I have known.
As his daughter, I agree with you. No, thank you, Father.
I quit my job and now everybody thinks I grew up.
Aww.
So, but yeah, Josh, like, he bought some mushrooms. And
Yeah.
had them mailed to him or something.
Yeah, and that really is what
And he got put on probation, and it kind of set his life on like this downward spiral, sort of.
Yeah.
And he would go to Pazuzu's house to get drugs. I think just weed, though, right?
I didn't see any of that, like the specifics, but I do know that there was a point where he was living with them, and that's where his downfall was. He stayed with them.
Well, you get in those places, and like I was saying about the one I was near when I was a kid. You get those places, and time just slips away. It's like the old opium dens and shit like that. You know, you might not be in there doing heroin, but you're in there doing a lot of different drugs, and you're meeting a lot of people. People are coming over. You got personal relationships going on with everybody. You know, it's a thing. Time just starts to slip away.
I mean,
You sleep when you crash, and you wake up a few hours later, and you're back, and you're still at it. And it just, before you know it, you've been there for a week, and you've slept 3 times.
it really sounds like Spirited Away.
Kind of.
Like the bathhouse. That's
yeah.
exactly what it sounds like.
It kind of is, except
You're welcome.
a lot dirtier and more drugs. And
That's why I'm saying, like, it's a bathhouse.
Friendly.
oh, there were kids there.
Oh, Jesus.
But they were taken care of.
Yeah. Mamas do what mamas do.
They weren't being hurt.
No. And so, like, these guys have disappeared. And just I know we talked about this when we were talking about this last week. About, we were looking at the pictures of, like, when they go to tear down the house.
Yeah.
So,
that's when you get your best shots at the inside of the house, honestly.
yeah. And just looking at how uneven the backyard is compared to the front yard, you pointed that out to me.
Well, yeah, for one, the outsides of this house, even the backyard, which is kind of fucked up, but looking at the outside of this house, it really just looks like a normal house in the suburbs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lawn was manicured. There was a nice fence around the backyard. Now you get around to the backyard and there's a big pentagram and 666 upside down crosses spray painted on the chimney.
Yeah.
But aside from that, you wouldn't know
Yeah.
that it's just some regular house. And even that's not a big deal. They just have a weird kid, right? Well, I mean, but you go inside and as soon as you open the door, people would say it's like you're being physically hit with the smell.
Yeah.
Like,
of just human
dogs would go in there and they would die or be killed and just left in a corner. People would shit in the living room floor. They would just go over a corner and shit on the floor, pissing on the walls. Like,
just cuss.
there was trash everywhere, like food rotting everywhere.
Yeah.
Animals running all over the place. His mom's room was
down a hall of like a foot deep of trash. And her
Gigi's
room
house.
Oh, God, really?
Gigi's house, but with people shitting on the floor.
Well, that already happened at Gigi's house.
Continuously.
But continuously
And also
over, like, built up
also
over
dead
years.
animals rotting in the house.
Yeah.
But
That
now,
like
helped
his-
me figure that out.
but
real
his
quick.
mom's room was different.
His
right?
mom's room was like,
There was tunnels through all this miasma.
yeah, and
Like the Gigi
she,
did. She made
Yeah.
tunnels.
yeah, so like she had, even in her room, it was a very much so controlled, cluttered chaos, but everything had a place and everything was like dusted and clean. And even like her bathroom, it was cluttered, but it was like clean.
Like Betty's house is.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so hers there was not, but that was she would leave her room every day and go to work and come back.
Like, why?
One day she's leaving her room to go to work and like sees Pazuzu.
And like his,
Doesn't he see him shoot what was it, Josh?
no, it was, okay, so I think actually it was, yeah. She sees him and
in
then,
the basement, like the basement doors open or some shit.
yeah, something like, no, it was in their living room.
Okay, yeah.
Or this was either Josh or this was like Tommy, I can't remember which one. And his fiance, the main bitch, Bubbles, fucking Amber. I don't understand.
Bubbles?
Yeah, I don't get it either.
What's a Powerpuff Girl?
I don't know. She apparently shot one of these guys too. Like, that's one of the stories. I'm just like, y'all are messed up. You have like a preacher's daughter who has seen all of these things, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I guess that's where a lot of like the testimony came from too. From
Amber.
yeah. I mean, because they were convicted. What, like, this starts from 2010 to 2015. Like, that's when it kind of, 2011 is when it like hits the radar.
But yeah, so there's been at least 3 murders. And I think 3 murders is what's required for a serial killing.
Yeah.
I thought it was 5.
I think it's 3. And
Wow.
and they were all done with a ritualistic. It was because it doesn't have to be sexual, but the MO has to be. And all these were done with guns.
Yeah.
And they were all done in a ritual manner, as far as like satanic sacrifice, whatever for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could be, I guess, safely classified as a serial killer. And there's a possibility that before they got him, that he got more.
Yeah. Like, since they were saying like months beforehand, before even this was going on with these 2 guys, that this guy's killed someone. There's something going on up there. Oh, we know it's the local crack house.
It's like, and they would. That's it. Is he? He might have very well a lot of bodies. Did he have a cult? Would you say? Would you classify as a cult?
There definitely was like a weird cult-like aspect to going to his house and letting loose.
I'd say like the beginnings of a cult.
But now see, the thing is, there's
And because
unlike most cults, you're allowed to come and go as you please with him.
That's why
but
it's the beginnings.
you still had these
The
wives.
charismatic leader,
You still had like these wives or
fucking
fiancés.
sister wives.
Yeah, these fiancés that worshipped him and did anything that he said. It just. Hello, cat.
So
Right.
let's talk about his arrest then, I guess.
Yeah. So, like, everyone's arrested.
Oh, how does it lead to? How does the arrest happen?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I don't even remember. Because some of this I'm going on off of memory. I know there was a warrant executed for a search.
So they finally got enough people, like the entire town finally said, "Hey."
Yeah, or like it was the poor man's ex-wife that was like, "Hey, so he's been missing for like a year or like however long, and that's not normal," because she thought he was like on the run from the cops or something. No, he was just, dead.
Yeah. So authorities arrested Algarad and Amber Birch on October 5th, 2014. They had done a search warrant and they found skeletal remains buried in their backyard.
But sidebar, that this hasn't been like the first time that the police have actually like been inside his house.
They've been in his house. They walked around. They looked at shit. You know,
like that's kind of what gets me is that
they were just like, yeah, seems all right. But then again, they probably didn't want to search through that shit.
I don't blame them.
Right?
Yeah, no.
Like that place was toxic. You know what I mean? Like
Literally
physically bad for your health.
Yeah, because like like in the little documentary, the Vice documentary, they were in freaking hazmat suits going in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they were going in there and breaking out the windows so that they could get some air in there to breathe.
And you kill all the surrounding trees with a stench.
Like people were like lined up watching it happen.
Yeah. Like, but they all knew that house, that was the fucking devil's house.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
the bank, like, and the town made sure that it, like, did not exist anymore. Like, it does not exist anymore. Like, that plot does not exist.
Yeah.
And if I read correctly, there's still, like, a no trespassing sign onto that particular lot.
Like, just stay away.
Don't come back here.
So, yeah, they found the remains of Tommy Welch and Josh Welchler that both have missing since 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wetzler was shot in July, and Birch had been killed in October. The warrant said that Amber shot Welch and Algarad helped her dispose of the body. That's very possible.
Yeah, because he
was
had
directing the traffic. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
the thing where they're like,
He
was running the show.
Yeah. There was a video shot supposedly inside the home. The authorities released, you know, about just how fucked up the house was.
Yeah.
He had words like "evil will triumph" over the doorway. He did have a sticker that I really liked on his door though that said "Police not welcome." I like that one. I was like, I like that sticker. It didn't do anything because there's a cop standing there at the door.
Yeah. Like it was rough, but like he had, like we said, like he had like really great pictures and stuff though. But it was just, there was something that just flipped for him. And it was like literally the nature of what was around him and the nurturing of that.
Yeah.
Like you guys are literally parallel like people.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Me and him are very similar. It's one of the things that always shocked me about his case when I learned about it. When I first seen him, I had no idea who he was. And then...
Wait, you met him?
Yeah, I met him.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Alright, so when I was getting ready to get out of prison, I had a dentist appointment, right? Mm-hmm. And when you're in prison and you go to the dentist in North Carolina, you go to Central Prison, right? And they put you in this little medical holding room while you wait for your appointment.
Yeah.
He was there too.
Oh, God.
He had been brought over from, on suicide watch, basically. He had been brought from Forsyth County Jail to Central Prison on suicide watch. So we were both in medical holding together. I didn't speak to him, but I seen him, and he made an impression.
No, it was fucking terrible.
Hold on. What?
He made an impression. You don't forget that.
You really can't.
No. Looking at his like mugshot, like
I saw that one documentary of him, and I've never forgotten his exact everything.
You don't forget that.
Yeah.
And his eyes, like,
oh yeah,
you can kind of see it in this. You talk about dead eyes, like.
Yeah, he looks dead.
He had like corpse eyes.
he has the seppuku eyes.
Yeah. It's just he's gone. You look at him.
He just doesn't give a fuck.
That man, he made an impression. But but more that I learned about him, the more I realized how similar we really were, and there was a divergence point in our lives.
I'm just happy that point exists.
Yeah, me too. Because Pazuzu was a broken person. I would have loved to have him gone down a different path and been able to find and meet him, and we could talk about our religious ideas all day. Because apparently we have a lot of the same.
Yeah, I think if he wasn't the way he was, I think y'all would get along.
I think so too.
Yeah, most definitely.
We hate the same things.
Yeah, y'all would have been.
Y'all would have been great friends.
But the thing
if he
is,
wasn't a crazy man.
I also hate, human feces.
Yeah.
Like I said, had he been gone a different way, but he was schizophrenic.
Wait,
like
what?
there was a point where he was hospitalized.
Yeah.
And in his chart, it had said that he was hospitalized for I believe 30 days. It's I want to say the psyche valves from Holly Hill over here. And
Dorothea Dix.
Yeah, one or the other. They're both horrible. But he didn't like how his medicine made him feel. I hate how my medications make me feel. But I know that I need these medications or else I will fall out and have a seizure probably every other day. It's just gonna happen.
Would be no bueno.
No. So I have to deal until there's something better. So, I get it. I hate antidepressants too. But they're helping me get through life.
So, you want to talk about what happened to him? Where is John Lawson today?
R.I.P. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, you were there.
Yeah, so when anybody whenever an inmate dies or commits suicide in prison, you're locked down. You don't go anywhere that day. Because there's a lot of shit happening. Right?
There's a lot of moving parts.
And it's easier if they just keep all the inmates locked down. So we got locked down for a day. And then the next day, it's on the news that he had committed suicide in his cell. Now, he was on suicide watch. And he had cut open his arm and ripped out his artery.
How?
Or chewed.
You remember what we talked about him doing with that Dremel?
It's deep.
Oh my god.
He bit his own,
his artery.
He bit his artery out of his arm to die.
What the fuck?
At 4:20. At 4:20. Like a boss. He's if I'm gonna go down how I want. I don't blame him.
I guarantee you he had no idea what time it was.
That's just a great coincidence.
I've been in the cell block he was in.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
There's no clocks. Not there. Not where he was.
There's no time there.
No. You know what time it is by when they feed you, and that's an estimate. You know it's breakfast time, lunchtime, or dinner. Lights go out around 10.
Unless he literally was just counting the minutes.
It's impossible. You lose track. Now, I was able fairly decently to keep track of it with a drip in my sink.
What?
Yeah.
The sound of a consistent one.
A consistent drip. But that actually in a quiet cell room, whenever it finally does get quiet, and it did in these towers, it'd get quiet and you'd hear that drip, and that drip would get louder and louder. It did not really, but in your head it's getting louder and louder till that drip is completely in your brain. And you go to sleep like that. Mad. Irritated.
I wouldn't
pissed
be able
off.
to do that.
And you're so happy when shit starts happening outside, because
You don't hear
then
drip.
you don't hear that drip anymore. But the drip is nowhere near as bad as the hum of the fluorescent light bulb.
Oh, I hate that sound.
It's there. You don't have a light switch. It is just there, right above your head,
Just
all day. And then in the background, you got
drip, drip.
People actually found out that you could pump the water out of the toilet, right? Like you could use a trash bag and fill it with air and seal it over the toilet and push that air through. And you could actually talk to other people in like the cell block below you through the toilets. So like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, you'd start hearing all these like burping noises through the toilets. And if you went in there and flushed yours out while everything else was dry too, you could just sit there and listen to everybody else talk.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You're like, I've been there.
Dead is better. And
In
he
this
was never getting out of
aspect.
prison.
I
No.
highly doubt that he would.
Amber Birch got convicted.
Yes, she did.
His girlfriend got convicted. How much time did she get?
Oh, I don't remember.
A couple hours?
A couple months.
Time served.
Ugh. Let's see. Her projected release date is May 20th, 2045.
All right. She's got a while still.
She got 20 years.
Yeah. So that's Pazuzu Algarad.
Yeah. That is a very Cliff Notesy one. I didn't go
I mean,
into-
it's an hour. It's one of our longer episodes.
Yeah.
It's an hour long.
Me in it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of information to be had.
No. It's
Um,
just a very fascinating
like
story.
we can go into like excruciating detail, but we really hit the high points, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of information to be had. One, because he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
He's never going to.
it was such a short span of how much of an impression he made. Like if he were to have been like out in like Montana or something, like
He could have actually got real big there.
yeah, like he would have flourished.
You could have had a Far Cry 5 situation.
Yeah. That is where my brain went. I was like, holy shit, if he would have been out somewhere like that. Like he wasn't too far from like West Virginia and Kentucky.
Where
Oh,
was he?
Winston-Salem?
Winston-Salem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Clemens, which is like the poor side of Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
It's like where Grandma Sheila lives. It's kind of like that side of town. It's not on that side of town, but that's the type of town it is.
Yeah, the not good side.
It's not good. It's a very Christian town.
It's very
But he
hood.
found followers.
Like where we are, hood adjacent.
It was hood adjacent. Well, he was the hood.
Yeah, he was the hood. You right. He would be our hood adjacent if you guys were friends right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I couldn't be friends with someone like that though. Not with the animal
Without the
sacrificing.
craziness.
And
If he was heavily medicated.
if he wasn't the type of crazy that's sacrificing animal and smearing shit on the walls, then yeah.
Yeah.
If he wasn't a violent, nasty crazy, I'm okay with crazy.
I mean,
Everyone here
you're married to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm okay with crazy. Prefer it,
It's fun.
but not the.
Oh, hello, Godzilla. Oh,
Not
hello,
the
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu and the animal sacrifice. Look at Cthulhu over there.
I know.
Oh,
Look
he's
at
a good
those.
boy.
Look
Yeah.
at those
He
boys.
doesn't even have to get sacrificed today.
No,
If you
but he will
sacrifice
get.
that-
Oh, he just lost his bones.
He's going to sacrifice a few body parts though.
He is gonna.
5 days.
Yep. I'm gonna go snip, snip, bud. 7 days.
2 days ago.
Whatever.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I guess next time we're going to be talking about...
If I finish, the Butterbox Babies, or if I finish my theory about how music festivals are cults.
I partially agree with you on that one. But it's only partial. What's with your sigh?
Because I love music festivals.
I love music festivals too, and they're kind of cultish. Like,
Not fully. They just have a couple of things.
there's a culty aspect to it. It's almost like this exclusive group that you want to be a part of. You are paying dues. Like I am taking it from like
they're free.
You just ruined it.
Like the scale that, what was it, Sounds Like a Cult does. Like you have to pay your dues. You you're paying sometimes to
multiple charismatic leaders because of bands. Or the event organizer, but nobody really knows who that person is a lot of times. You know?
And it's a mysterious figure.
Yeah, that nobody really cares about. They're just there for the bands, generally.
But it's a mysterious figure pulling all the strings. Yeah.
I don't like this.
We'll get that. We'll get that one.
Yeah.
Because I can't deny you. I can't deny that one.
No.
Yeah.
Be sad that I can't.
If you look at Woodstock and you look at Fire and you look at Woodstock 99, and hell, even the one I went to, Blue Ridge, there were certain aspects about the 2020 Blue Ridge Rock Fest.
And then you have the faddish aspect of it with that was really big 2010 when I graduated, Coachella.
Yeah, I luckily missed out on all that.
That's when I graduated high school.
I was a hippie
like Coachella was the thing to go to.
Yeah, 2010 we were living out in the deep parts of Johnson County. That's where I got pictures of you when I have an 8-foot tall pot plant and you're like a baby on my hip.
I remember.
Is that when you were in no, that was when you were in High Times?
Yeah. During that time.
Hell yeah.
Matter of fact, the plant I'm standing next to it was the one that was in the High Times.
Aw. That's a cool picture that we should put up of you.
Well, I put it up one day. 5 Times pays me.
Yeah. So, yeah. Depending on which one I finish or if I find something new that catches my attention, we'll see what happens.
We can talk about Jehovah's Witnesses.
And then I'll talk to Karen because her mom's a Jehovah's Witness. Yes, they are.
Without a doubt a cult.
Yeah, and she has feelings about her mom, and it's really funny because sometimes we end up talking about it at work. And it brings me joy.
Remember when that Jehovah's Witness came to the door and was talking to you, Storm?
Oh, God.
How cruel I was to that Jehovah's Witness?
You were very mean.
You do not talk to my child. No.
Excuse the fuck out of you.
You want to leave her some pamphlets? Leave it and go. They didn't do that. They wanted to talk to you. I'm like, no. Not you fucking creeps.
I wouldn't want pamphlet.
Mormons, fine.
Well, why not Jehovah's Witnesses?
Because Jehovah's Witnesses are way more of a cult than Mormons.
Okay. I want to hear why.
Mormons are also easier to retreat from.
We can talk about Jehovah's Witnesses for sure.
Yeah.
We'll do Jehovah's Witnesses.
I want to be present for this one.
Okay.
And that'll give you time to finesse your Butterbox Babies, which I know nothing about.
I think while we're talking about this.
What?
What is this?
The next episode.
Yeah,
the Butterbox Babies. What is this?
I will explain it to you.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I have no idea. I am staying completely blind on that one. I have no clue on Butterbox Babies. I have
very
a lot
interesting.
to do. I have to start studying the Mandela Effect and the CERN Hadron Collider.
I'm so excited for the Mandela Effect thing.
So
well, you need to listen to the episode we did yesterday.
Okay.
So this one's coming out, what, in 2 weeks? 3 weeks? No.
Shit, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I just released Occultism Part 1.
So then we have the second part.
And then I gotta release Amityville.
Amityville, and then the
I gotta
second part.
release Occultism Part 2.
So this will be.
This one would be after Occultism Part 2.
So
you still got. I just posted this week.
So it would be the beginning of the year.
Yeah, around the beginning of the year.
So I have to look at the calendar, physically look at it.
All right.
It'd be in the middle of the year. It'd be middle of
Like,
middle of.
What?
As I said it, I was like, that's not the right
Hold
way
on.
to say
I
it.
said we're releasing every other week, not every other month.
It would be the middle of January. So when this will be coming out.
Middle of the year.
Because yeah. All right. So well, at least we got a couple things lined up that I can do.
Yeah, and we're caught up for a while.
Yeah.
You really
Which I like being, because then it gives me more time to do more research.
Yeah, and I don't have to kill myself trying to study for 3 podcasts.
Yeah.
Or I'm never going to get mine started.
This is why I'm able to. I'm like, okay, this is when. Like, give me a couple things to get out so that I can have all the extra time.
Are you playing with the thumbtack?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Let me live my best life. No one told you.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot about a lot of these different cases. So if you want to just like find ones you want to research and talk about, and you just we'll talk about them.
That sounds like a plan, my guy.
Because I know a lot about a lot of them.
I know a lot about you.
Huh?
You
like potatoes. You're a pierogi.
What?
I almost got some chocopes, but I
You almost got some tapenyoki. Well, it's fine. Tapenyoki?
Oh,
Tapenyoki?
Tapenyoki, I think.
Okay.
Either way, it's the delicious Korean rice cakes, and they're so
They
good.
are delicious.
They're so freaking good.
They had them in the ramen aisle over there at Lee Ming's.
Did they have did they have like the gochujang paste?
I have no idea.
I think he was looking for it.
I looked at the teppanyakis
And ramen.
and ramen.
And
And mochi.
I did walk down the frozen food aisle,
so then we'll just
and
can
I
do
bought
that.
some of the meats, but when we got close to the fish section, I just avoided all that.
I like fish.
He avoided it with grace, too.
Like, oh, we'll just go this way. It's as close to the fish section as I like to get.
You never was too close.
That was too close.
That's fine. All right, now that we've gotten real left, we have gotten very. This has been a very left Charlie Manson's fanny pack with Jessica.
Rich and yeah, so see y'all next time, fuckaroos.
Bye.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.